Hi everyone, it's Anne. Today is Sunday, the 15th of October, and it's 2:30ish, I think. Um, Having a quiet weekend here at the house and wanted to catch you guys up, do a short video to get you up to speed on what I've worked on over the last week. By the time you see this, because I'm going to patch it together with another video closer to the end of the month, I will have traveled to DC to spend a week with my husband and then come back. So some of my normal kind of planned stuff isn't going to happen because I won't be here. The project that I've been focusing on, I think as you guys know, is my Star Weaver, and I don't want to take that with me because with full coverage, you kind of have to haul along like your entire master set in order to do any work on it, and that's just not feasible getting on a plane. So, and that's going to take a back seat for a week, so I won't really have any progress on that. Let me show you what I have been working on. I had begun the October block for the Under the Sea SAL, and I have finished it. So let me just show you the whole thing. This is on the 25 count even weave from Lakeside Needlecraft. It's the sort of ombre dyed one. It's lighter up here and darker down here. Kind of a printed modeled wave pattern on it, I guess I would call it. So this is where we are right now with the October clue completed. There's two more clues to go here to finish off the square. This month's block was this cute little scuba diver. Love how he came out, I think, or she, equal opportunity. And this little treasure chest. Really, really detailed, but oh my God, the back stitching on this. Whew. It took me almost as long to back stitch it as I did to cross stitch it, or at least it felt like that. Using the DMC called for colors on this. I am stitching it 1/1 and not 1/2 or 2/2 to make it a little bit smaller. So there are some things about the back stitching that don't translate as easily to the 1/1, but I think it came out just fine. I think all of the the little clamshells and the other little details on the box, like the hinge and the mask that the scuba diver's wearing, came out just fine. So there's a couple of places where I had to maybe omit one stitch in order to make it all fit, but I don't think anybody would know that from here, and you probably wouldn't know it unless I told you so. So that clue is done. Gonna have the next two clues to work on for November and December, and I'm gonna stay caught up on that no matter what. Then I worked on Star Weaver. I will not bother showing you guys the image because you've seen it a gazillion times. Here is where I am. As of today, I have continued on down this side, and I've worked the diagonal up to here, and then I just opted to finish off this row. I think it's about 12 stitches. Of course, they're all probably 12 different colors left to stitch to finish this row off, but I finished his hand here, and I've gotten more of his beard done. You can kind of see in the parked threads that there is a petite treasure braid, which I'm substituting for the called for cryneck, and that's in his beard. Really subtle sparkle. I don't know how great it's showing up on camera, but I can sort of see it because I know where to look for it. The sparkle continues down through his beard and kind of wraps around this section. So I will have a couple of days to work on this week, at the beginning of this week, Monday and Tuesday before I leave for DC. So I am going to try to finish this row officially, and then I'm going to start the next kind of stair-step diagonal, I think. I counted up So I have about 5,100 stitches left to put in on this, so fair amount of work still left to go on it, but I'm gonna try really hard to stay focused and get it done. So there he is. Absolutely love the detail on this. For a 3-page pattern, there's a lot of bang for the buck. This weekend, I started a new piece kind of for dark October stitching and have been really looking forward to this one. This is Molly Harrison's Which Way. I have the mini version, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And I am working this on the 25 count easy guide. Not a ton to show, but there's the first 600 stitches. Love the colors, absolutely love them. Those mauves and the dark purples. And you know, interestingly enough, even though I think this piece, like to me, this piece feels like it has a lot of orange in it. It has quite a bit of pink in it too. So I'm working starting at this corner here. So that is what translates to there. So technically, I'm not going to work on this again until next year. It's just one I wanted to get started for the Year of Whips and be able to say I have started, which I have. But I'm loving working on this one so much. I think I'm going to wind up pulling it out again for the 31st just to stitch on it for Halloween, because I think that would be really fun. So that's the plan. That's where I am. So you'll see this probably one other day in October. Even if I put another 100 stitches in, that's fine. That's totally fine. So that is that piece. And then the last little bit that I wanted to share with you guys is I did a little shopping at the Heaven and Earth sale. They're having a, I think it's 35% off, 25% off. They're having a sale right now. I'm not sure how long it runs. Doesn't matter. It probably will be over by the time you guys see this. So anyway, I just was in the mood for more October, dark October themed pieces, and wow, they've got some beauties on the site. So I want to show you what I picked up. Not going to start these anytime soon, but I picked up the Mini Trick or Treat by Randall Spangler. I love this one with the little blue dragon right here and the kind of creepy crawly house. The little trick-or-treaters. There's like a skull face in the door looking out. And then there's the witch with the full moon and all the bats. Yeah. That'll be someday. Then I also picked up the Mini Sleepy Hollow by Laura Prindle. I think this is... Oh, here's a bigger picture of the Randall Spangler. I have odd sun. Let me see if I can... I don't know where that's coming off of. It's reflecting off of something today. It's a little better. Well, I won't be long. We'll move along through this. There's the Randall Spangler piece, the Trick or Treat. And I love how the door looks like kind of a ghoulish pumpkin. So I picked that one up, and then the Sleepy Hollow by Laura Prindle. Love that one. Love the skull and the full moon, and of course the headless horseman with the burning head, and the crazy raven, and that horse, that black horse. My goodness, how fun is that? And then I fell down the rabbit hole that is Molly Harrison. Let me try. That's a little better. We'll try that. The rabbit hole that is Molly Harrison's art. She has some amazing pieces on there, not just Halloween witch themed, but just as a general thing. She's got a bunch of really great pieces on there. So this is Molly Harrison that I'm working on. I picked up a piece. It's also a mini size called October Flame. Here's the artwork on that. Very similar style. I love this one because she's got like these shooting stars and crescent moons coming out of her very casually outstretched hand. And of course that black cat sitting on the tree. And then they did not have these as minis, but let me share with you guys where I'm going with this. I thought it would be really cool to have a whole set. So it's not a triptych, it's whatever 4 things is, a quadriptych? I don't know. 4 of the images of hers that are witches, all the same size, to either get framed all together. The minis run about 10 by 13. So they're not massive. They're a little bit bigger, you know, than a sheet of paper. A little bit longer than a sheet of paper. But, you know, that's not huge. But either get them so that they're in a one long frame, or do 4, you know, rectangular frames where each image is framed separately, but then you can put them on the wall together and have sort of a bigger picture. So while I was in there, I requested 2 other of her images to be made into minis so that the sizing would be the same on all 4 of them. And this is the Fanciful Witch. Again, love the colors in this and the lace detail in her skirt. And the black cat. And then this is Smug Witch and Mimsy, I think is the title of it, with the cat. The creepy trees, and I used to have an orange tabby. I now have a mostly black with a little bit of white tuxedo. And so I thought it would be kind of fun to get these in order. You know, something like, I won't be able to hold all of these, I don't think. Let me try. All 4 of those ladies on the wall. How fun would that be? I mean, seriously, the colors are amazing. I love the artwork. Yeah. So when these come back, once they're done being minified by Michelle at Heaven and Earth, I will grab those and start them at some point, but not this year. I have 2 other full coverage designs that I want to start. I'm going to start one in November and I'm going to start one in December, and that'll pretty much max me out. One of those is a mini, I believe. The other one is not, but it is smaller. It's actually almost the size of one of these minis. It's an older design and it's just not as big, which is fine. It's totally fine. I will have plenty to work on. So anyway, that is my current state of affairs here. I'm gonna probably go through my stash and take something that's small and portable that I already have the floss kitted up that has less colors than the full coverage pieces, and take that with me to work on, but I haven't decided what that is yet, so stay tuned for the next video where hopefully I will indicate what that might be. So I will be back to talk to you guys later on in the month of October. Have a great rest of your month and lots of good stitching time. I hope things are wonderful in the world where you are. Take care. Bye. Hi everyone, it's Anne. Today is Sunday, October 29th, 2017. Popping in to do a quick update. I don't have a ton of stuff to show you in terms of stitching because I was away visiting my husband on the East Coast, which was great. We had a wonderful, wonderful weekend, long weekend together, but did not get a lot of stitching done. So let me show you what I have been working on. And I wanted to talk about a couple of things one thing I purchased, one thing I was gifted, and then talk about some plans for 2018. So if you follow me on Instagram, you're probably really sick of seeing this piece, but I have been working on my Star Weaver, artwork by Tom Cross, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And I am in the home stretch on this guy. Right here is the very bottom of this piece. So I have about 5 rows left to do. So that's about 3,500 stitches minus this little bit right here. I am going to be working on this again tomorrow. I'd like to see if I could at least find the bottom edge, because I think it will sort of help me mentally if I can see where my goal point is to work towards. So I have gotten quite a bit done on this since I last talked to you. I think I finished 3 more rows. I've basically done from here down since I talked to you last. Been trying really hard to focus on this and make good progress because I really want to get it done. So this has been my main thing that I'm working on. And so I'm going to work on this again tomorrow, which is the 30th of October. And then I will be switching back to, just for one day, to my Which Way piece, the Molly Harrison Witch that I started, which you saw in my last video. Here it is right here. Nothing crazy. I'm just, working on that spooky sky. I'm going to stitch that as a Halloween themed piece just for fun, just to give me a little mental break. I'm kind of struggling with how I should approach the remainder of this. So like I said, I have about 3,500 stitches left to go to finish. And I want it finished in time to get it framed and be able to send it to the East Coast for my dad for his Christmas present. So I had been focusing on staying up with my Under the Sea SAL and putting a week or 5 days every month in on my chatelaine. That was my plan, to do that through the end of the year. And I'm now kind of thinking, with these 3,500 stitches left, if I just work on this until I get it finished, I could kind of do a Jessie Marie and try to power through. Get as much, just work on it. Get as much done every day on it as I possibly can and just get it done. But I'm really worried that I'm going to get so burned out on it that it will feel like drudgery. And I don't want it to feel like drudgery. I want it to be fun because, hey, hobby, fun. It's what it's supposed to be anyway. So I don't know. After I work on this tomorrow and work on Which Way on Monday, I'll have, Tuesday will kick off November. It'll be the 1st of the month. And the Under the Sea SAL clue comes out on the 2nd. I'm tempted to put the Under the Sea SAL, not away, but not work on it until I get this finished, simply because while I want to finish it this year, it's not like a requirement or there's not a deadline. I just want to finish it. So if I finished it the 31st of December, it would still be a 2017 finish, and that would be fine with me. I would be completely content. So I don't know. Maybe I'll just kind of take it day to day and see how motivated I am, because I don't want to get to the point where I have, I don't know, 1,500 stitches left on it and then get so burned out I can't make myself finish it. Still loving working on this. It's still been exciting to pick up. I've still been very focused, very motivated. Oh, there's another 100 stitches. So I may try to Jessie Marie it. We'll see. But anyway, that is what I have worked on. when I've been stitching so far the last couple of weeks. So you definitely will see more of that in the upcoming month's plans. Then I did want to share with you a gift that I got from my friend Lisa, who's at Lisa's Stitching and such. She knew that I had been keeping an eye out for this little guy. The pattern is called Dandelion, I think. This is the mini version that she gifted me from Heaven and Earth Designs. They had released the pattern and then it came out as a mini not too long ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, 10 days ago. And it was while I was on travel, so I did not purchase it, but she very kindly gifted it to me. So I love that little fox, his little happy face, and those dandelions. I think this is just adorable. This is going on my to stitch list, in my ever-growing list of Heaven and Earth design pieces. So thank you, Lisa, for thinking of me and sending this along. I appreciate it. Yeah, he's cute. I love little foxes. They're very cat-like to me. And I guess I should toss out, I have a fairly extensive Heaven and Earth pattern collection. If any of you all would like me to do a Heaven and Earth Designs show and tell, if you will, of what I have in my stash, please let me know and I'll be glad to do that. They probably are the most patterns I have from any one designer or shop or whatever you want to call it. So if you'd like to see what I have, either to be inspired or just to think there's all kinds of crazy, when are you going to stitch all of those? I will be glad to share that with you all. So just leave me a comment or send me a note or in some other way let me know and I'll be glad to do that. So in speaking of artists whose pieces I like, who Heaven and Earth Designs have charted, Which Way is artwork by Molly Harrison. And so I did a little poking around because she has an Instagram account. And I follow her on Instagram just like I follow Amy Stewart, who is another Heaven and Earth Designs artist. And Molly Harrison also has an Etsy store where she sells original prints, original drawings, limited edition prints, and then sometimes some odds and ends. And so for the Halloween period, she had this item up for sale in her shop. So this is a print of one of her original pieces of artwork, and then she's hand colored the witch's dress, and she's added this border around the print and some cute little star buttons. I love this piece of artwork with the scarecrow and the falling leaves and then the black cats and of course the witch with her gorgeous outfit. It's bound with this kind of purple changeable fabric, and it's nothing special inside. It's just a blank notebook, but I loved it, and so it came home to live with me. I love this. I think I'm going to use this next year for my daily journal for my full coverage pieces. Love it. Love it. She doesn't have these up all the time. They're completely hit or miss. You have to sort of wander in there and she either has them or she doesn't. They're all one of a kind ones that she's, I think, just, spur of the moment, something creative strikes and she decides that she wants to put a book, one of these together. She has some other things in there, like I said, very hit or miss, odds and ends, but I will endeavor to remember to link her store below in case you want to go check it out too. Okay, so let's talk really briefly about some plans and things. I had originally thought for 2018 that I was going to do the Year of Whips with Soulful Stitching. And I've decided that while I'm going to not officially do the Year of Whips, I am still going to work on some works in progress. because I really want to get the smaller items done that I started during Mania this year. And my plans for Mania this year are only going to be to start some full coverage pieces. And so I have made a list of the things that are candidates for what I'm going to work on next year. I think it's 18 total pieces. Now, some of them are ones that are full coverage. Actually, about half of them are full coverage pieces. And so my goal on those, like my personal goal, will match the Year of Whips guidelines that Melanie put together, where if I get a page finish on a full coverage piece, I will consider it a finish. But I want to focus on my full coverage pieces so much that I don't want to feel sort of like I've got all these other small bits and bobs that could be finished and I'm just not getting to them. So I am still going to stick with the plan to do basically full coverage for sure, 2 weeks out of every, 2 5-day rotations out of every month. I'm going to work on my chatelaine for 1 5-day rotation out of every month. And then I'm going to fill in with the smaller things 2 of the other 5 days. And that will leave me usually with a 4 to 6 day window where I can work on whatever I want for the end of the month. So it may be that if I'm close to a finish or I'm close to a certain mark that I want to hit, that's going to be what I work on for those sort of free-for-all days. For me, I think that's going to be better simply because it will let me have the option, will let me feel like I have the option to not work on one of those small things. If I want to get something done or if I'm really in the mood to work on X, I'm going to work on it and not feel pressured to kind of keep up with it. I will still do probably quarterly updates just to keep myself accountable, but that's kind of more for me and not as a Facebook post, you know, kind of thing. I'll certainly include it in my Flosstube videos, you know, keep you guys up to date on what I'm working on, but it won't be quite as structured that way, and I think that that's going to be better for me. It's just difficult for me when I travel, and a lot of times when I travel, I'm gone for a whole week, and there's a whole week just nothing gets accomplished in terms of stitching. So I think that that's going to be a better approach for me, and I think that that's going to just make me feel a little less pressured that I have to get certain things done. So again, I have my list. I highlighted most of those when I did my works in progress video not too long ago, but I will be doing an official, non-official Year of Whips video where I pull all that information together. That'll be the last thing of the year or the first thing of the new year. So with that in mind as well, I had initially in my last little clip that you guys just watched had talked about starting 2 other projects, and I'm going to wait and not start those right now. Participating in the Year of Whips officially meant that I had to have those projects started before January 18th when it kicked off. And I've decided that I'm not going to start them right now. I have them all kitted up. There are 2 more full coverage projects, and I'm going to wait. And I'm going to start one for my New Year New Start, and I'm going to start the other one for Stitch Mania as a new start. Otherwise, then I'm going to stick with what I currently have, which is more than plenty. It's not like I will be struggling trying to find things to work on by any means. But I think that having the mix of some full coverage and some non-full coverage next year will really help me stay motivated to keep going on things, to not commit to just working on one project a month, to not feel like I have to be on a specific deadline for check-ins or pressure myself. And I know it's fun, right? I get it. There's no deadline, like for the federal budget. If I didn't finish a project, no one would probably care except me. But for me personally, then that puts a lot of pressure on me. That's just how I'm wired. And I don't think that I want it to be quite that level of pressure. I'm very good at, here's my list. I'm going to work on my list. I'm going to work on my tasks. I have to figure out how to, get certain things finished, but I don't want to feel like I have to. And I don't want to feel like I, am working in a 19th century sweatshop where I have to get some craft project finished because it's on a deadline and we won't eat if I don't. It's not that way. And I think then that will give me, as I say, the flexibility that if I really want to work on a project and really, really focus on getting it finished, then I'll do that. And if I wanted to work on something, one of the Stitch Mania challenges where I rotate things in and do like just one day on a specific theme to meet one of their challenges, I can do that without feeling pressured that somehow I'm not getting something accomplished. So that's kind of where I stand. Again, my plan is to do a recap kind of at the end of the year just to get straight in my mind and have a reference tool for myself about what I plan to work on and my plan of attack with those. The other thing that I wanted to be able to do next year is if I do want to have a new start for whatever, whether it's a small thing or a big thing, I can have a little flexibility to maybe pull a weekend to where I work on a new start and get some stitches in on that just for fun. So I think that's it for today. I am going to come back and do a very small clip just to show you guys what I worked on, what I've added to which way after I actually do that stitching on the 31st. So next time I talk to you then it'll be probably the very 1st of November, and we'll be in the last 60 days of 2017. It is mind-boggling to me that this year has gone by so fast. I don't know about y'all, but it has zipped by for me. I'm not sure where every day has gone, but it has gone. So until I talk to you next time, I hope everybody is having a great end to their October. If you celebrate Halloween or Samhain or any of the end of October type harvest festivals, I hope you enjoy those. So I'll be back with a little quick clip with which way coming up in a minute. Talk to you guys later. Bye. Hi everyone, it's Anne. And I'm just popping in to do a quick couple day update to get me through to the end of October. Today is November 2nd, 2017. What I have been working on, just two things. Very quickly, I put in a few hundred extra stitches on my Heaven and Earth design Which Way, artwork by Molly Harrison. And I had just started this one not too long ago. You guys may remember that, so it doesn't look like a whole lot of anything, but I added more of the sky colorway, which is up here. Love the colors in this. Can't wait to work on it. It's just a really fun piece. I'm really looking forward to doing that more in 2018. And then the other thing that I have been working on is the almost done Star Weaver. I have about 2,300 stitches now left in this. I have one more block of 10 and that gets me to the bottom of the piece. So I have that section in there and then across the bottom there. So I am making progress on this, and since I am kind of in the home stretch, I mean, comparatively speaking, for a Heaven and Earth design, it's in the home stretch. I'm going to go ahead and just focus on this until I get it done. I think that way then I won't feel pressured, coming down to like a last wire just before the holidays, trying to get this done, trying to get it framed, trying to get it shipped to my dad. So this will be what I work on until it's done. And I'm using the Froggy Bingo in the Ultimate Cross Stitch group as a, what's the word I'm looking for? Like just daily check-in. So the deal with that particular challenge is to do somewhere between 50 and 250 stitches a day. And each morning, one of the moderators tells you how many stitches you need to get done that day to continue participating. So while I'm doing more than what I have to do, I figured that even if I had a day where things were crazy busy, I could at least make myself get done that daily challenge. I thought that that would be a really good way to kind of keep myself focused, to keep myself from feeling like I had to do all 2,300 stitches in one day, because that's kind of, you know, when you get this close to a finish, you feel like, oh, I'll just do it. I'll just sit here and work on it. And I can't do that. I will be so burned out. But this way I can, you know I'll get usually about 150 or more stitches in a day. I can budget the time to do that. I can make it happen. So this is what I'm going to be working on until it's done. So I will record my next video when this is finished, which I am really looking forward to. Otherwise, I think what I'm going to do is I think I've finally gotten my plans for next year kind of hammered out in my head. I've made extensive notes. You know, stay tuned because stuff changes all the time. So it may be what I start the year with, and then there'll be some changes that happen, by the end of January. But I think I have a workable plan to do the stitch alongs I want to do, to continue working on the things I want to work on, but not overextend myself too much. If you haven't watched Sarah, the Stitching Mommy's newest video that she filmed on Monday of this week, which was the 29th, I think, or 30th, she makes some really good points about, kind of understanding what would be a good limit to set for yourself and not getting too involved with all of the stuff I want to do right now. So stay tuned for that. I think it will probably be a separate video where I just talk about how I'm going to handle my personal year of whips going forward, what I'm going to do for the rest of the year. I have one piece that may come out to get worked on, but I want y'all's opinion because I'm on the fence about whether I want to continue it in its current form or if I want to restart it. But it has a fair amount of stitches in, so I don't know. That's a hard one to decide on. But anyway, so next time I talk to you, this gorgeous guy will be a done thing, which I'm looking forward to. I'm very excited to be in the home stretch on this particular piece. Loving it. Think it's amazing. I think the detail in it is wonderful, but yeah, also looking forward to a finish. So this will kind of do it for me for my summary for October. And yes, a couple days into November. But stay tuned. I will be back mid-month to talk to you guys probably just before Thanksgiving or maybe a couple days earlier. So anyway, I will talk to you all then. We're having all the flooring replaced downstairs next week, so wish me luck because that's going to be crazy. Trying to work around them and move the dogs and not have any access to what was my office space and all of that, and having to like go outside and walk around in order to access where my studio is. It'll be interesting. Anyway, you guys have a great rest of your week. I will talk to you in a couple. Take care.